A lot of nice play coming out from enemy. Word from production is that for Game 2, Wubbn will be subbing in for Pain the Beyond, so giving enemy at least 1% of a chance at winning this game.
We will have the substitute come online. Wubbn taking the role of the support. Pain the Beyond unable to get back for this next one. So Team Eager, they have the first pick this time, and Thor will be banned out.
Yeah, DareToCare. Oh, actually, no, that's Eager's first pick. So Eager's going to ban out DareToCare, Thor. No, take it away from Wiggles there. Cirquette in response by enemy.
Again, I just want to apologize for calling out Pain to Beyond just to... Oh, man.
I want to apologize to Lassiz for PolarBearMike pulling Saltmachine out of his Kraken. That's what I want to apologize for.
Cirquette going to be banned out by enemy, so nobody really wants to see the Scorpion woman. And Kepri banned out by Eager, so Lassiz apparently didn't like it either, Kevin. He's going to ban out his own support. So Kepri, Thor, Cirquette taken off of the board by Eager and enemy as we wait the last ban coming out from enemy, and it will be a Giannis.
First pick coming up for Eager. They do prioritize the Kuang sometimes, but they didn't in the first half of the last draft. Wukong is on the board, banned last game, and we've seen a lot of Wukong first picks in both regions. Is Eager going to put that on their solo laner? Who knows where this one's going?
And that's really exciting for me.
I want to see Lassiz on Geb in the mid.
Well, this is actually really exciting for me because here, again, Geb most likely, even with Omega playing in the solo last time around, Geb most likely going in the support role.
But there's a flex option.
But there's the question. Team Eager just created a flex option in Game 1. If Omega never took it to the solo lane, obviously this is support, but now enemy has to think twice. Now they can't just automatically go for it. Now they have to think. Smart move by Eager.
Athena going to be locked in for enemy. That's going to combine for their dual lane with Freya. More than likely, we have seen Athena in multiple roles, though, but traditionally and more than likely, it goes to the support. It's also a very safe support and a very standard support coming in for their substitute, Wubbn, if that's what they're electing to do.
Freya most likely, as you said, wind up in the hunter role. Sun Wukong picked up by Eager.
Eager's like, thank you. You're going to leave Sun Wukong up? Like,
well, exactly. So here's the deal. Eager has created ambiguity in Game 1 by playing that Geb solo. AFK created ambiguity with Sun Wukong in the first North American set by putting that in Weekend's hands in the jungle.
And, I mean, they are scrim partners, so you never know. DareToCare could have been practicing. Maybe DareToCare was the original Wukong jungle, and Weekend's like, hey, man, I kind of like that. I'm going to take that from you.
Well, there goes the ambiguity. Kuang picked up, and again, this character does have multiple roles, but we've seen what DareToCare does on this guy.
This is DareToCare. I know we've seen him in solo lane, but with the Geb, with the Wukong, I don't think there's really much of a chance that Omega's going to be on this god. And Omega, he's even said in his last interview when he was on last time, that he's just their frontline bruiser. That's his typical playstyle. Not that he can't expand into some assassins.
We've seen
that's just not their typical playstyle.
Right. We've seen Bakasura come out from
Arachnes
Omega
as well.
We've seen it, and to his credit, it works. But understanding not just what you can do, but what your role is on the team is very important for, if you want to be one of the best.
Omega, you're not allowed to play assassins or mages. Bad Omega. Warriors, Guardians.
Well, I mean, this is probably closer to the truth than not as Nuha gets banned out next to Shibalanke. So no more Zapman late game hunter. Watch as he picks Artemis.
We haven't seen a Shibalanke ban in a very long time. Enemy going to select the first pick of the second half of the draft for themselves here. They still need a mid and more than likely a jungler. That's Osiris is almost 100% going to be going solo. Freya is likely to be the hunter, and Athena still the maybe
Bastet.
Flex option. Bastet picked up, and I believe right now Bastet is 1 win and 10 losses in the Pro League.
Wow.
Xing adding to, I believe, 4 of those losses. I could be wrong, though.
Bastet, a character that, again, a little bit of flex here, but because of the rest of the composition, pretty sure that this god will wind up in the jungle. Osiris.
Yeah, 12 win % on Bastet.
Yeah. Ra going to be picked up by Team Eager. This is a character that I personally really like. I think Ra brings a lot to the table as far as sieging is concerned, and also in his own right still winds up being a great just standard mage with damage. Hell is a little problematic, winds up being too much on the side of healer. Ra, I think, is a good balance.
There's also a lot of setup for raw snipes here. You have Geb Cataclysm, Geb Knockup, as well as Sun Wukong Stun. I mean, the Ox form knocking up people, not the best for lining up sides because it actually just knocks them, like, not random places, but it's very hard to knock them where you want. Neith going to be the last god locked in for Eager. That's going to Zapman, and we're likely to see Kuang on DareToCare be roaming a lot and trying to set up some early kills. Now, the Bastet pick, I believe, is to counter Kuang, most notably because the bleed. That's one of the biggest weaknesses of Kuang, is that his stealth is broken when he's taking damages. So any god that has a lot of dots does very well against him. We see a lot of Agnis picked against Kuangs, a lot of Bastets. Anyone who can bring bleeds and damage over time effects to him.
Hades going to round out the picks for enemy, so that makes things a little bit more cut and dry. Hades will be seen in the mid lane, most likely.
All right, beads 3. Lassiz, let's go. It's a Bastet Hades. I mean, at level 5, you're going to be locked in place. And then you're going to have cats dropped on you. And you're not going away, because one thing is, so true to form, though, because we talked about it in Game 1, Beads 3 is very important against Hades, because if you're in the dead center of a Hades ult, Beads 1 will not last long enough for you to get out of it. It's
you actually can't escape.
It is very important to have Beads 3 early on against a Hades, because if Khaos can lock Lassiz in the middle of it, he's not going anywhere.
Just a little bit stuck.
Unless he buys Combat Blink.
Enemy grouped up as 5, almost caught Wukong out. And so the final lineup for Team Eager will be Omega in the solo on the Sun Wukong. DareToCare will take into the jungle on the Owl. Lassiz in middle with Ra. And then PBM and Zapman on Geb and Neith, respectively. So much more standard this time around for Team Eager than the last time. But again, just being able to create that ambiguity is very powerful. It's a very powerful tool for Team Eager. Enemy, again, very similar stuff. Saltmachine on the tanky Osiris in the short lane. Wiggles will reprise his role on Hunbats in the jungle. Despite the loss, I think he did very well last game. Khaos playing the Hades mid, and then Wubbn, the substitute, will pair up with Vetium on Athena and Freya.
So enemy, they're going to be able to grab these mid camps here, but it looks like Eager knows about it. They're not going to try to invade, just going to be grabbing those mid camps free, then rotating over to their attack speed buff. Eager knows those are down, though, and that was the thing, right, is I believe that enemy was trying to throw off the timer, but Eager had a ward on it, so they will know when those spawn.
Zapman here will pick up his purple buff, and with that, everybody makes it to lane.
And his Eager Neith skin, too. Make sure to check that out. Although I don't know if that chest is available right now. But if it is available, make sure to try and get your Eager Neith.
And just so you guys know, while we normally don't play with skins here in the SPL outside of very few exceptions, teams are allowed to represent their own team with their team skins. So Zapman showing some school spirit, some team pride here with the jersey on his Neith.
Mid lane, looks like we had some aggression there, but Lassiz just trying to clear the wave against Khaos. And Khaos is, I mean, Raw versus Hades is basically, they both clear very well. And nothing too much is going to happen outside of that. Omega actually in the jungle here, forced a little bit back. Khaos, or excuse me, Saltmachine controlling this lane, this matchups very well. And actually Omega's going to get zoned off of some of his wave.
Jungle invade coming out by way of Team Eager. We saw the start here by enemy, and there's the Achilles heel right there. PolarBearMike stuck out just a little bit. Slows of all shapes and sizes. PolarBearMike 30%, 20%, 10% dead. Khaos with the rotation gets first blood for enemy.
So Eager getting very aggressive, trying to lock down and steal a buff away. Unfortunately, though, enemy just stopped them, and while they don't have a lot of direct stuns or hard stuns early on, they do have Athena taunt. It's really about the fact that they had so many slows in their kit. Athena dash, slow.
Freya
Boombots jump, slow. Freya pulse, slow. And PolarBearMike's like, I don't even have boots 1, man. What are you doing?
And none of that was a surprise to any of the 10 players on the field. So mid camps were taken, and then purple buff is taken. Eager's ward is at mid camps, and Eager saw enemy come to lane about approximately the same time. So they 100% know, without even Lassiz saying that there's no red buff on his opponent, that the red buff is available. So Eager's going to go and grab it. Enemy knows that Eager's going to go grab it, so they're able to respond. Both points of that sequence were telegraphed beyond anything else. So enemy understanding the information that they gave to Eager, getting first blood. It's all about the information that each team had.
Solo lane matchup here. Omega getting pushed out for now. Saltmachine seems to be controlling this lane, but DareToCare has made a rotation. Saltmachine has 5, though. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be hard to lock down. They do have the Neith ult. Saltmachine, he ults very early. DareToCare is not 5. No execute available. I don't know if they're going to have the damage.
That's
Omega...
He just
nope.
hit 5, and it's a little bit too late. I like the hesitation from DareToCare. He waited just a little bit.
Lassiz, don't do it to him. I'm so
Bang!
sorry, Saltmachine. I'm so sorry, man.
Lassiz gets the kill. Set up. And I mean, that
wasn't even line of sight vision. That was actually, Lassiz didn't appear around the corner, but what he saw was when players back, they actually have that glowing yellow circle around them. He didn't see Saltmachine. He saw the edge of the glowing yellow circle and knew exactly where Saltmachine was because of that.
you can't even call that a lazy back. Saltmachine took the extra step to go beyond the tower into the corner. That was just an excellent heads-up awareness play by Lassiz. Understanding.
And I'm pretty sure Khaos was... is that good? No, okay, that didn't get stolen. I almost got scared for the enemy right there. Oh no, it's actually enemy invading.
Enemy invading. It does get stolen, but quite the opposite
So
way
never
you were
mind.
thinking about
Ignore everything I just said.
Purple buff goes the way of enemy, and they have a large presence here in this dual lane. So they pick up first blood, and they pick up the purple buff of their enemy off to a slight lead.
No, they stole it. Oh wait, no, I didn't. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's still on the ground. No one picked it up. Why did no one pick it up?
There it is. It's gone.
Yeah, it just disappeared. It was on the ground, though, I promise.
The invade winds up being good.
Ground.
It was stolen, so the invade winds up being good. Zapman just turns level 7, as does wigglesdabae. Lassiz is going to pick up some experience on this red camp and then head home. We'll take a look at what the Ra's building, because this is interesting. He can go many different routes. Again, Ra very much like Giannis in the sense that if you see a full cooldown Ra or a full magical power Ra, neither of them are incorrect. It's about playstyle. There's very few gods that actually is a thing, and we'll see power boots going the way of Ra.
Can we follow Lassiz? He should be able to make it back in time.
Yes, 100%.
Sure. Okay.
It is a 16-second walk from the base to that red buff,
Yeah,
and that's
bagged.
without Ra movement speed.
Yeah, but to be fair, he lost 3 minions because of it.
Very
I don't know
true.
if that was worth it. Just saying. Throw that out there. For now, though, Eager has been the aggressor so far. Enemy has responded in kind a few times. Enemy right now with a 300 gold lead. Off of First Blood, most notably. Omega pushing up. And we do see Wiggles rotate in here, and Omega taking a lot of damage. He's going to bird away real fast. But Wiggles, he's standing around here, but he actually walked over a ward. And Omega's going to bait this. You can see DareToCare and PolarBearMike coming underneath.
They're caught out. They are seen. Wiggles doesn't seem to mind. Here comes DareToCare. This time a very different story. He's got the execute. Neith ultimate comes, helps out. Omega stunned out as Wiggles after the jump, but enough damage was dealt by enemy to discourage Team Eager from really getting aggressive.
Don't do it, Lassiz. Don't do it to Okay. I almost thought he was going to do it again. I don't think he has the damage, though, to finish off Saltmachine in
Not just
one
yet.
ult.
Not just yet. Maybe later on.
I don't know. He has pin boots. It would have been close.
I don't think he can.
Probably
I'm
not.
not
It'd
sure
been
one
close.
Ra's that we'll take a look. It does about 400
I'm not doing math.
400 damage with 100% of his
He also has 10
magical
pin.
power. Not quite enough. Damage coming out from Khaos as he makes his way
Nice
back
shield.
into the middle lane, getting all of PolarBearMike's HP and putting it directly into the ground. Not only does Khaos pick up first blood early on, but he gets the second kill for enemy as well, and his team will look at the gold tree, but quickly decide that's not in their intentions, and they'll walk away.
Important thing, too, there is they also forced Lassiz's beads. I thought it was simply the Geb shield and him able to just walk out because it was that close on the edge. But it was the beads giving him that CC immunity. And they're down for 180 seconds. Those are beads rank 1, which means Khaos is going to have another time to basically just he's going to have a 2-minute window to just lock down Lassiz if he wants to.
180 seconds. That's 3 minutes. When you realize just how long that is in smite time, that winds up being a lot. I mean, that's a whole camp rotation. Here as we see enemy again deny the purple buff away from Team Eager.
PolarBearMike, though,
caught out a little bit, but not enough. Cataclysm on cooldown, not a lot of setup. Here comes DareToCare. That's going to be a big move, but an ultimate out of Vetium will prevent Eager from chasing the left side.
The jump. perfectly timed there. DareToCare still has his ult. It did not go off because Wiggles jumped at the exact same time there. The animation went through. He didn't expend his ultimate though. Eager continuing to be aggressive, but DareToCare knows he can't walk through there. Yeah, just going to wait for Lassiz's heal. Nice placement of it as well. Wubbn smells out DareToCare in the jungle, and it's just going to be a wash from both teams. Neither team wants to try and find anything else, it seems.
Yeah, and I mean, looked over to see if Eager was doing the Gold Fury. They quickly saw not, because the wards from enemy are the entrances to the Gold Fury. They saw everybody from Eager walk over this one ward in particular, and then, well, everybody disappeared. Enemy, or Wubbn, went over to see if they were there.
Look at this gank on the right-hand side, though. They lose their blue buff, but they're trying to lock down Lassiz. Overhand smash. Nice flail coming out. Going to slow down Lassiz. There's the Geb shield. Saltmachine ults, doesn't lock him down. Still does finish off the kill, though. And a good CC chain coming out from enemy.
DareToCare here, but a little bit too late. Not able to capitalize off of any sort of situation that enemy would have put themselves in. So a 1-for-0. Good look for enemy.
And right now is the time frame when Lassiz spawns that he still will not have beads up if enemy want to look to abuse him. They're going to be up in about 30 seconds. Actually, by the time he gets back, it's unlikely we'll see a fight or a gank onto Lassiz. And you can see he's picked up beads too, though. Recognizes he needs to get them online as soon as he can.
Yeah, those beads too will be a shorter cooldown. Not the 3-minute cooldown that we see on the beads 3. We'll take a look as
PolarBearMike really lacking in the last hits. I mean, you saw how well Omega did over in the solo lane last game. PBM needs to really step it up here for game 2.
I wish we had a caster cam like we do during the So You Think You Can Cast. The amount of times that Kevin makes me put my hands on my forehead is way too high for a single
I'm just saying, PolarBearMike, come on, man.
The clear from Khaos.
Pick it up.
We were talking about this earlier. Hades able to just erase a lane. I mean, the ability with Devour Souls just eliminates it completely in one shot.
Ward coming in. PolarBearMike going to blink in, trying to lock down
With
Khaos.
the rest of the team.
No one else is there. I think PolarBearMike was just trying to defend a ward, and now he's going to be locked in place into Khaos.
DareToCare
cancels it early.
DareToCare gets the kill. Wiggles trades one out, so both junglers looking very strong. Wiggles gets the support, though, and now DareToCare gives the second part of a double kill to Wiggles directly. The rest of enemy are here to party. The rotation of Saltmachine winds up being very successful. He picks up a kill on the mid lane. Lassiz, 2-3 kills for a single death.
Clear miscommunication coming out from Eager there. PolarBearMike blinks in, no one else even close. Speaking of blinking in, Wubbn's gonna find two with the taunt. Omega gonna do a knockup, but gets rooted in place. No, not in time. The slows are coming out. Omega just trying to escape. He's juking the flails, but Saltmachine with that stun may be enough. No, World Weaver gonna keep Omega alive. Nice ult coming out from Zap.
6-2 of the kills after that engagement. Ooh, and again, what looked to be a miscommunication, PolarBearMike engages without the rest of his team in tow, and enemy takes that situation, takes out PolarBearMike because of it, and then with the initiation gone, with the Geb out of the picture, enemy extends the engagement and winds up taking 3 bodies off of the battlefield.
And for the second time in a row, Eager places a ward on that sentry and loses it. But they're going to start up the Gold Fury and enemy. Not 2 games in a row. It looks like they're just going to give it up without realizing it. Wiggles, he's rotating in, but not in time. And that goes to Eager. I mean, that's 2 games in a row that the first Gold Fury has gone with enemy having no idea it was being started.
Very important play.
Until like it was too late.
Very important play for Eager to come through in the clutch right there. Enemy just took the last engagement hand over fist. They clearly won it. No argument about it. Eager comes right back and takes the objective. That is very intelligent play, understanding exactly how to stop the bleeding. So enemy with a great look. Eager answers with one just as great.
Right now, game all but even. Only 200 gold separate these teams after the first gold refill. So Eager basically was evening up the game after enemy had a very strong early team fight presence. Once again, the blue buff trying to be stolen, and it looks like Omega, he's going to be forced to ult, but options are covered.
Eager hits on Saltmachine and immediately goes into the bird. Lassiz is here just in case somebody wants to make it an engagement. And with the heal alone, enemy decides against it. No more pressure onto Omega. He'll go back to base. No teleport available, so he'll have to hoof it back to lane.
Snipe just trying to secure his own blue buff, but not able to do it. It's going to be going over to enemy who are roaming the map right now as a group of 3. Their core, their support, their mid, and their jungler trying to get anything they can. And enemy's done a good job of invading, trying to find these buffs all game. Actually, both teams have been invading each other back and forth. It's like, you steal my blue buff, I'm going to steal your attack speed.
And that's
you take my red, I'm going to steal your blue.
That's what's exciting about having these two teams that think they're evenly matched. And I mean, they are, right? But more important than the fact that they are evenly matched is the fact that these teams think it. Both teams are confident. They think that they can win. There's no real problem for either side. So we're seeing these back and forth invades. We're seeing these counter initiations. We're seeing these raw fights that Saltmachine's about to lose.
Oh, someone intercepted the World Weaver from across the map. It might have been intentional, but there was a huge grouping in mid. It didn't even matter. But look at DareToCare. He's invisible over on the right-hand side. In the mid lane, Lassiz once again locked in Khaos' ult, but he's able to get out. No beads available. Doesn't matter. Khaos doesn't have the damage. Right-hand side again. Omega taunted out. Slowed down. Fear no evil. Nowhere for Omega to go.
Geb's shield is strong, and the knockup is stronger. Stunned out, and DareToCare gets credit for the kill onto Wiggles. Tossing up the opponent into the air. Not the execute, but just enough space created to let his teammates escape.
I can't believe he got out of that. Shield OP.
I mean, that's the power of Geb's shield and
It's
Omega.
so hard to lock down players when Geb is there, especially if your team is focusing on one individual. Geb has so many utility items in his kit. He has a knockup, he has a slow, he has a shield, he has an AoE stun that also does percentage health damage.
Right.
It is so hard to kill a target if Geb is dedicated to protecting them, and you saw that right there. Wiggles, I don't even want to say overextending. It looked guaranteed from his end for sure. But PolarBearMike, nice play, keeping Omega alive.
And I mean, not for nothing, Omega definitely itemized in that direction with the Mystical Mail working directly against the damage that the Hunbats is going to be dealing.
Mystical Mail?
Mystical Mail?
Never seen this before.
Blue
some great itemization, unique itemization coming out from both there. Stun on Saltmachine, and Omega, who seemed to have been losing these trades early, is clearly winning them now. Saltmachine back in lane, already lost a third of his health.
Yeah, Mystical Mail, as you sort of joked about, I mean, it really is the mark of a solo laner.
I mean, there's no reason not to go
It's the mystical mark of a solo laner.
Sorry.
This item used to be called Mystical Mark. Come on.
No, I'm not.
Come on.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
All right. Seeing a little bit of group
really off today.
Seeing a little bit of group in the middle lane. Mid-Harpies will go the way of Eager, but a blink in from Wubbn and a Pillar of Agony out of Khaos will lock down at least one. Neith ultimate coming out to help the team. Wubbn gets the hit and a great hit from Lassiz. Everybody's low. DareToCare's here. Omega's going to claim one. DareToCare will claim the life of Khaos. That's 2 down, and help from the long side. PolarBearMike. There's the last hit you wanted, Kevin. It's a kill in the kill column going the way of PBM. 1, 3, and 4. 3 dead on the side of enemy. Everyone alive for Eager.
That was Kuang Christmas, right? The fight breaks out. Lassiz hits a snipe over on Wiggles, forcing him low. And then DareToCare blinks in, and all he sees is 3 X marks. He's in the middle of. He's like, I can execute. No, they're X marks. He could ult anyone. I mean, what better present for an Kuang than blinking in and finding 3 targets that you could execute, and just all of Eager. Great communication, great combo. Khaos trying to lock down Lassiz, but we could see he's picked up those beads 3, and they're being put to use now. It's so hard for Khaos to lock him down, and he's been trying repeatedly.
I like to see the use of the Neith ultimate as well. Sometimes we'll see this Neith be picked up, and the ultimate not really used enough, but every single time it seems that Eager needs it. It's up, it's available, and it's utilized. Whether it's blocked or not by enemy is a different story, but it seems to come out most of the time. Now, enemy, taking a page out of Eager's book, is going to try the surprise gold.
This is not falling fast enough, and enemy, they're going to have to drop it here. Now they're trying to fight, but PolarBearMike, 4-man Cataclysm, Zapman snipes out 1, and now he's charging his ult. Who are Eager going on? It's going to be Vetium, who takes to the sky before the stun hits, but with 3 players low, they're going to start and turn their attention to the Gold Fury.
This one not so sneaky. This one directly in the opponent's face. Gold Fury started, and DareToCare will take out Wubbn before anything really happens. Down on top of the Pillar of Agony, Lassiz takes it out. Darkness versus light. Light reigns supreme in this case, and Lassiz on the raw, looking strong, taking down the Gold Fury. one more time. This one goes to Wave Eager. 17.5 in, 9-6 read the kills, and Eager leading this contest by about 5K.
Yeah, 4,600 in the lead, 4,700 in the lead, excuse me, 6,000 experience, and you're really starting to see that take effect in the junglers and all the hunters, both a support as well, 2-level advantage. Eager now going to be taking this tier 1 tower on the left-hand side, 500 more gold, and right now I'm looking at Khaos because while hi-rez is good, it feels like Khaos thinks he's a solo laner who has a lot of health stacked up. Right. He's diving in, and he's just not surviving. Wiggles trying to find some kills defending his own buff. Actually teleports into the middle of 3. Wubbn also blinks in. They're looking to lock down PolarBearMike, but quickly decide not to and back off with Lassiz rotating in.
PolarBearMike playing it safe. And as we sort of get into the mid game here, Kevin.
Okay, PBM.
What do you?
Okay, PolarBearMike. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't. That's why
I don't know if you want to catch that. It was a bit. I don't know what's worse, PolarBearMike ulting a buff camp that's dead, or you trying to sash a jungle camp with Naja. Both are pretty up there.
All right, I'm not really in I don't really like to bash the players, but.
To be fair, we've seen a lot of like just ultimates today that are just like on nothing. PolarBear's like, did anyone see that? No
if there's an upside for this one, actually, Team Eager won't be looking to fight anytime soon. I mean, the Gold Fury's dead. Fire Giant probably needs a couple more minutes in the incubator for both teams to really think about going for it. Some more items online.
2 strikes against PBM today.
So PolarBearMike probably not looking for that initiate anytime soon. So while it's still definitely a bad circumstance for Eager to be in, this is the best of the worst, I guess.
The man just ulted a buff camp. Tom, stop it.
It was a mistake.
I know it was.
And right now, it's up to Eager to really make sure it doesn't impact them.
Rotating in here, Saltmachine.
This is how they do it. This is how they do it. They look for the picks, and they look for the individual plays that don't necessarily need the large initiate. And before you know it, that ultimate's right back up, and PolarBearMike ready to fight one more time. So Team Eager with a little bit of
surprised he didn't ult the blue buff.
Little bit of a misplay as far as just hitting the wrong button is concerned, but ready to fight, and no harm, no foul.
Just trying to have fun. Stop defending him. I know it was a mistake. Left-hand side, Zapman and Vetium going to be battling it out. Zapman, though, back flipping into his own jungle. And so far, it seems that Vetium on this Freya, he's been quiet. 0-0-4, hasn't found a death, hasn't found a kill. It seems like he's just being kept there by Zapman, because Zapman is just ulting across the map, and Vetium's just trying to farm. He can't allow Zapman to split push in the meantime.
Which is totally fine for enemy. I mean, Freya's a
left-hand side, Zapman, more pressure onto him, going to get taunted out. Backflip again, just poke. Thought he was going to get ganked harder than
Freya's not a character that's going to really look for it, and that's really where I was starting to get into this conversation before. 20 minutes in, as DareToCare just picks up another kill on a Saltmachine. That's going to be the second kill for the enemy solo laner.
I mean, 5-1-4. I talked about most of the teams have really given up on Kuang, but he didn't get hit incredibly hard. I mean, he got hit on extended engagements, but he still has the gank potential where he comes in and he can almost one-shot you, especially if a player's already poked out. Yeah. Well, it seems other teams and players have abandoned Kuang. DareToCare and Eager are saying it's still powerful.
Wiggles jumps over the wall to escape death.
Doesn't steal the red buff either. Lassiz was able to secure that. You could actually hear that ping as he picked it up.
And a couple of jumps from the bird, showing you that he's feeling good. Taunt on to DareToCare. He'll blink out of it. Beads are popped.
Beats 3 on him as well, and I really like this decision-making from Eager to buy very early beats. I guess it's 21 minutes in, so it's not super early,
right.
But they all did have them online much earlier as well. It's not like they just picked them up recently. They recognize the power that hi-rez brings, and for me, I really want to see Khaos start itemizing into a little bit more health, because he's just getting blown up. He can't ult in place because he is not tanking in any way, shape, or form. He does have the I can't even think of the item right now.
Voidstone?
Voidstone online, giving him magical protection, but it's just not enough.
That's why a lot of times we'll see a Warlock Sash come out.
Or at least an Ethereal Staff. I mean, it's almost one of the first items we always see picked up on hi-rez.
Omega lurking in the right-hand jungle, looking for something to go on here. And again, Kevin, here, so we're 22 in, and Vetium's on a Freya. You've got Saltmachine on an Osiris, Khaos on a hi-rez. I mean, is this really where enemy wants to be? They're a later game team than not,
They're
right?
behind. I think both of these teams, there's no like clear one-on-one winner. I think a lot of it's going to come down to the team fights from both teams if players get caught out. I mean, for me, if Kuang can just come into a fight and eliminate someone before it truly breaks out, it's almost a guaranteed win for Eager. We actually saw that. I know this is going back a little wise. I believe it was last season where DareToCare literally one-shot Mace to the face in a late-game team fight, and it was over from there.
With the Polynomicon, just the perfect storm of items.
Is it because Wildstorm is his ability?
Vetium being aggressed on by DareToCare. Beads are popped, and he's got to blink out of there almost immediately. Tons of burst coming out of enemy.
Lassiz trying to find the snipe on Vetium. That actually might have been close enough. But, you know, Freya actually does have some protections now in her kit. She's got a lot of base. Eager starting up Gold Fury. Enemy not going to let it go for free. Wiggles looking to jump in.
Eager's going to leash it. They see that the Athena ult has been channeled.
They're just, once again, they're just like, Eager's going to try Gold Furies. And if it's not free, they're just not going to fight if they don't feel confident.
It's a 6,000 gold lead. We'll try it. If you show up, see you later.
Considering the fact that they've gotten 2 these past couple games because of that, I'll take that. Like, if enemy's just going to give me Gold Furies, I will take them any day of the week, unless they're doing Fire Giant at the same time.
So you'll only take it 5 days a week. Or should I say, people at home can't see me, but should I say 6 days a week? I'm getting the absolute death stare from Adonis right now. We'll see Saltmachine go ahead and back. Everybody really has their ultimates online, so enemy is able to fight here if Eager really presents it. So I guess the question here now is, what is the opportunity for enemy to fight? Because we've been here multiple times, and we always ask this question, and the idea is generally that enemy, despite being low, wants to be the initiator. They want to find a surprise fight.
Left-hand side, it looks like a surprise. PolarBearMike blinks in, forces Vetium's beads. Wubbn, though, looking for a taunt. He's holding it as long as he can, waiting for his team to get in position, but he's taking so much poke, he's eliminated before it even happens. PolarBearMike trying to keep some players alive. Khaos ult is almost useless. Lassiz finds a big snipe on a wigglesdabae. Vetium finding a return kill, but PolarBearMike autos down Khaos, and right now, Eager, they're winning this fight 3-4 for 1 now.
Only one member remains. It's Saltmachine, and he just made the rotation. And scratch that. That is a deicide going the way of Team Eager. 5 members down. The only one on the side of Eager to drop was Lassiz. So enemy really not on the top side of that fight. That'll swing Eager 8,000 gold into the lead. And as soon as everybody is down, it's recognized. Eager looks directly at the Fire Giant.
I mean, this is literally going to be free. Athena has spawned, has her ultimate available, but I don't think she's going to be able to trudge to the Fire Giant before it's completed. And we didn't see the beginning of that fight, but Wubbn, I don't know if he had his taunt up actually.
Just got stuck.
Or if he was trying to zone, but he just sat there taking free poke the entire game, or the entire fight.
Lassiz spawns quite literally a second before the Fire Giant falls. So everybody on Team Eager will have that Fire Giant available, and this will really help this team start the push. Eager very much in the lead by just raw gold. As you can see, 8,400 gold and 12,000 experience as well. So Eager very much in the league. The Fire Giant will push that even further ahead. And don't forget, in addition to all that, it just boosts your damage, etc. It'll help the raw damage against the towers.
You know it's bad when the enemy support is the same level as your jungler in mid. And Khaos actually just hit 18 as I said that, but right now Khaos, he had this Hades, but we haven't really seen too much out of it. Can we take a look at player damage? Because I feel like he's been getting bursted down, hasn't been able to get anything real. Yeah, I mean, he has less damage than his Athena. He is Hades. Giant AoE burst. Yeah. I guess not AoE burst, but you know what I mean. He locked down target. He does a significant amount of damage. Should be more than Athena.
What we're seeing here is Hades has had his moment in the sun as of late, but a lot of that
he's building more damage. He's not building health at all. He's just getting blown up before he can get anything off. I mean, maybe this is a Soul Reaver, and I think here's the options. If he's building Toth, I think it's a bad idea. Blink in by Wubbn. Zapman, though, gonna backflip away before that breaks out. If he's building into Toth, I think it's a bad idea.
Sure.
Because he can't get his damage off. He's not tanky enough, and he's so far behind, it's almost pointless. If he's building Soul Reaver, okay, because he at least gets a 15% health knockoff. But I don't. Right now, it's a rough look for Khaos. He needs to be making some big plays if enemy have any hope in coming back.
Yeah, Hades has seen his time in the sun recently in the solo lane, and a lot of that has to do with how tanky the character's built there. Usually a Warlock Sash at the very least. Wubbn taunt going to be
twice now
off the mark. Wubbn stuck into a lot of damage, and Lassiz takes him out with the long-range laser. Teleporting into the tower is Saltmachine, and this might have been a tough decision. Blinking in his PolarBearMike, gets one in the Cataclysm, and it's going to be the recently teleported Saltmachine who burns the ultimate. Neith ult comes out, enough to make him stutter step, but not enough to make him die. The tower has since fallen, and Eager will fight onto the left-hand Phoenix.
Khaos, he's going to blink in, and he's just eliminated
That's
in
what we
under
see.
a second.
That's what we see every time, and what I was getting at. The solo lane, usually, the character is a little bit more tanky, and is usually a secondary initiate. It's done, something else comes first, and then you see the Pillar of Agony. Quite the different story for Khaos. We're seeing him go in directly number one, and unfortunately for him, not built tanky enough. Characters, instead of being in trouble with all their stuff down, they just turn right around and they take out the Hades because he's in the middle of everything.
He's also level 18.
Right. So Eager really capitalized.
Almost 30 minutes into the game, and he's been shut down. He needs to come in as that second initiator right now because he's getting blown up if he's the first one in. Not only that, but he was the only one in there. Eager, they took the left Phoenix, focusing on the left-hand side. Now Wubbn trying to find something, but once again, sitting in the front line, just taking so much poke, and one at a time. Enemy are just trudging in and falling. Blink in by DareToCare into the back line. Can he get him into execute range? Not enough damage.
No interest, and I love the restraint being shown by DareToCare right there. No real interest in diving the fountain. There's nothing to gain there. Push off the enemy and just go for the objective. Wiggles is here to play some defense, drops a great ultimate, but it's just not enough to take down Eager, who's ahead by almost 20,000 gold.
Snipe comes through, not going to connect onto anyone, and Eager, they're just going to force a lot of ultimates and go straight to the Phoenix. They're going to grab this third one. The question is, are they going to wait, play it safe, back it, spend their gold, or try and make the big plays into the Titan? It looks like neither are sure. Yeah, okay, now they're going to back off. Smart play. I like this decision. Can we take a look at gold in hand before they do back here? Yeah, 3,500 for Lassiz, 2,500 for DareToCare at the bottom.
What was that?
3,500, and then
okay.
2,500 for DareToCare. He had the least amount.
I
the least amount of gold in hand on your team is 2,500.
I completely misread that and thought it was player damage.
Not Polynomicon. It's Soul Reaver.
Yes.
For DareToCare, but he does have enough. Actually, he might be a little bit short for Poly.
Nope. I'll answer that question for you right now. As DareToCare picks up the Polynomicon as well, and this is
he sold. Okay, he sold.
This is the large part of we referenced the one shot coming out from DareToCare. This is a large part of it. Now, one of the big changes to this character is that it's the way Polynomicon interacts with the dragons. That actually you do need a second application, but it's neither here nor there. It's largely semantics, as essentially the takeaway from this is Kuang is going to obliterate somebody very quickly. Whether it's one ability or two, someone's getting erased.
It's like one ability and an auto attack. Khaos is not going to be having too much fun if DareToCare elects to go on him. It's going to be a Fire Giant uncontested for Eager as enemy. They have 3 grouped up on that left-hand side trying to push up fire minions. They recognize Eager is going to be trying to end here shortly, and they're all backing.
So Wukong going to stop the back of Saltmachine just by mystical males. They're mystical mailing each other.
He could have. He just wanted to stop him.
That's Omega style, running around the circle. Saltmachine going to be stunned out by Neith, and well, see you later, folks. Up in the air, Hen comes back down a little bit early on that trigger. Is the assassin out of the jungle, Kuang, but Lassiz cleans it up with a simple laser. Wiggles.
So enemy has given up as Wiggles throws out his ultimate and stands there.
Yeah.
Gonna dodge the snipe, but enemy clearly frustrated with how this one has gone. They had a very competitive game 1 and actually a very competitive early game 2, but for 2 games in a row, they gave up a Gold Fury. They're just like, here, have it. They had the lead, and they're just like, have a Gold Fury. We don't want it.
Yeah, lacking in vision really hurt enemy here, as Eager was not only able to sneak 2 Gold Furies, but able to sneak 2 wins here against enemy as they put themselves not just 6-6, they're now 8-6. So
3rd place as well heading into the first half, or at the end of the first half of the SPL fall split.
So previously, enemy was 7-5 and Eager was 6-6. With these 2 wins, that puts enemy actually beneath Eager. So let's take a look at the standings. AFK still on top, and enemy.
Yeah, these aren't the updated ones. We'll get the updated ones shortly here.
Yeah, exactly. These have yet to be updated.
Oh, there we go.
Well, there's the update. Team Eager now number 2, tied with Team Solo Mid for 2nd. Cognitive Gaming and enemy will be number 3.
They're tied.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and then Cog and Enemy tied at 4th. I'm actually not sure how that split went, so I'm not 100% sure there.
The tiebreaker
6 at 8. And I mean, like, the 2nd through 7th are all within 3 games. That is incredible.
We're going to take a look at First Blood. Khaos started things off very well. Unfortunately for him, as the game got later and later, one of the big problems of Hades was really shown as to when you drop the Pillar of Agony, the correct choice is to just turn and burn, and unfortunately not tanky enough to really deal with that. Player of the game, though, DareToCare. Kuang sort of taking a step back from the spotlight as far as character pick is concerned. DareToCare not really getting that memo, and good for him because, well, he really turned up on this character doing absolutely incredibly.
It's almost to the point where even after the nerf, you have to ban this away from DareToCare. Eager are picking it up every chance they get, and DareToCare is making huge plays on it. He's everywhere on the map. He's finding executes, and it's just... This god is too good in his hands.
Dare is
too good.
Dare's one of the better jugglers, I think, in our league. I think he's probably one of the under-talked about players.
I think when he gets gods he's very comfortable with, I think he is just as good as the Annisters, the Weekends, the Gars of North America.
Without a doubt. I think he's one of the better players that we have in our league. And this game without Kuang really does show what he can do for the team. Able to pull out kills all over the map and really do what he needed. So, again, 2 wins for Eager on top of everything, and that will put them into 2nd place, tied with Team Solo Mid. A lot of good games came out today. We watched a little bit of EU and a little bit of NA. And that's it for the week. If you had to pick a moment, Kevin, for the entire week, what would you pick?
Probably Eager making it all the way to 3rd. They were sitting, I believe, 4th, 5th, maybe even 6th in the standings, but this week they really showed that they are a competitive team at the top.
Don't forget, with the changing to the standings, it's a big deal because not only were the standings changed, but we've also expanded the regionals. We're not just going to take the top 4 teams, we're going to take the top 6 teams of each region. The top 6 teams from each region. So don't forget that. And if you want more information, you can always visit us online, but more importantly, Wednesday, 4 p.m. Visit us with Esports Weekly. Myself and Hindu Man will be making fun of Kevin's ability to count or lack thereof. And we will also be right before So You Think You Can Cast, one of the more exciting things that we're doing here at hi-rez. We're grabbing some of the community members and seeing how well they can cast. Have you watched any of that so far?
I have. It's been pretty good. I've seen some people who... They have talent, right? And it's not necessarily like this guy is going to be a very good caster right now. A lot of it's going to be about growth, finding a top 4, and then moving on from there, where I believe 1 or 2 are actually going to get the chance to cast at regionals, and the winner, top 2 are going to be able to cast at regionals, one of the games, the regionals that you were talking about, and the main winner will be a VIP at Worlds. Maybe not get to cast necessarily, but they're going to get there, get to experience everything from the backstage. So awesome stuff from them. Final reminder too, SPL not happening next week. It's a bye week. However, COG Invitational will be online on twitch.tv/SmiteGame.
Yes.
You'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be helping, though, with the kind of running it more so than casting. And it's going to be an exciting one, guys.
Yeah, I'll be on the call for that again. And if you're in the neighborhood, San Jose, AFK Gamer Lounge, very, very cool stuff. Just come out and hang out. It's free. So if you are in the neighborhood, be sure to join us. And if you're not, again, that'll be on twitch.tv/SmiteGame as usual. That's it for us here at the desk, and we will catch you next week in 7 days. Thank you. Goodbye.